Yeah, I'm Chad Austin. I'm one of the trainers here at Excel. I'm giving you some core exercises today. This is going to be 12 exercises with the ball. There's a lot of muscles in the core, and you want to make sure you don't just work one muscle. You want to make sure you work all of them to get a really effective core exercise. So I'm going to go through each one. First one is a crunch on the ball. So the difference between the ball and the ground is the ground or bench is solid, and this is not solid. So you're going to use a little bit more muscle, just a little bit more effective of a workout. So on crunch, you're going to make sure that your lower back is on the ball. So everything from your belt to the bottom of your ribs is flat right here. And you're just going to crunch from right here. So you start right here. Take 2 seconds to come up. 4 seconds, come all the way back. Make sure I'm not pushing my hips against the ball. Just move out the shoulder blades. I'm going to make it a little bit harder. Put your hands above put your fingertips on your head. And come up. Same way, not the pull on your head. Just make your body a little bit more top heavy. Harder than that. Put your hands all the way over your head. So it makes yourself a little bit longer lever. It's going to make a little bit more weight for your abs. Be like holding the weight up here. So what people do wrong is they bring their hands up like this. So that's not very effective. You want to make sure you keep your body long the whole time. Okay? And if you can do 50 or 100 of these crunches at once, then it's too easy for you. You gotta move on to the next exercise. Either it's too easy or you just don't have very good technique. So make sure you watch the demonstration. So then we're gonna go from the setup. I'm gonna crunch to a twist. So it's gonna work your sides a little bit more. So just keep your shoulders and your head comfortable on the ball. Put your hands right here, and you're just gonna move your shoulders to this side, and then point to this wall. So you're gonna make sure. Notice my shoulders and the ball are both moving opposite directions. So you want to turn both sides. Don't just turn your shoulders. Make sure you're turning so you're using your core. Okay, and you can make that harder by adding resistance with a tube or a cable or holding the ball, something like that. Next, we're going to do a setup. So the best way to do this is move against the wall. And so instead of crunching at my core like this, I'm going to keep everything in a straight line. Put my hands right here, and I'm just going to come back up. So this gives a little bit different kind of exercise, more of an isometric. And the way to make it tougher, you can make your body heavier like this, or above your head. You can add more stability to this by bringing your feet closer. And after the setup, you can do an ab roll. So the first way to do this, you can stay on your knees. You're going to try to keep your knees to your shoulders in a straight line. And so you can come down to your triceps first, and they come all the way back up. Okay, if that gets a little bit easier, you can bring your arms all the way out. The farther out you go, the more resistance you're using on your stomach. Okay, and then the next one would be a plank. And so what you're going to do, engage your core, like you've seen on probably other videos we sent you. Bring your belly button in tight, squeeze your glutes. So instead of having an arch like this, where you're not really doing anything, you're going to bring your stomach this way, keep it tight. You're going to have a nice belt all the way across. So you're going to put your forearms right here. You can just hold this right here. You want to work up to where you do a minute on here pretty easy. And once it gets easier, you can change your grip. Grab your hands on the side of the ball, or on the front of the ball out here. Just makes it a little bit more for your abs. Hold on right here. Okay, work up to a minute. Now, we'll come back to the wall again. So other than just your abs, you want to make sure you work your whole core. So you want to have an effective core exercise, you got to use your back and everything too. And so first, I'm going to do one as an arch. So I'm going to put the ball right at your sternum. Come out to right here. So it's best to do this against the wall so you don't slide around until you get used to it and you can come away from the wall. And so you're just going to start with your hands out in front, and you're going to bring your hands back like that and look up as high as you can. Hold this for a count, and then come back in front. So this is a really good exercise. If you're someone that has a job where you're sitting at a computer all day long and your hands are like this, eventually you get really, really tied up here from your shoulder blades being like this all day long. So you get pinched nerves, headaches, things like that. You ever feel like you're just going to bring this out? This is a really good exercise to kind of get those knots out. And so the next one from that, all we're gonna do is bring the ball a little bit closer and just put the ball all the way up against you. And so now your hips are gonna be on the ball. And so this is gonna be a back extension, much like this exercise right here would be. You're just using the ball, so it's not solid like that, so it's gonna use a little bit more muscles. So you can start right here, and you're just gonna push your hips against the wall, against the ball. Come up. Just pause on top of the ball, lower back right here. If this is a little bit easier, then pick your fingertips on your head. And come up the same way, and then all the way over your head. So on each of these, you want to shoot to be able to do about 10 to 15 reps. And if it's getting to where you can do 20 or 25 reps, then progress it just a little bit, make it a little bit harder. Let's see. Okay. Then you're going to come away from the wall. Put all the weight, put the ball on your hips, put all the weight on your hands. So this is just a different lower back exercise. You're just going to bring your feet up like this. So the same thing. You're just going to pause at the top. And so this is going to be your lower back. This is also going to use your glutes and everything is a little bit more. Okay, and then from there, we're going to go back to use our lower abs and our hip flexors a little bit. And so you come all the way out.
Yeah, you did those 20 fairly easily, so
Here.
you're ready.
And first one, you're just going to bring the ball, bring your knees in underneath you. So this is the ball tuck. You bring your knees in underneath you like that.
Now, this
Come back
isn't
out.
hardly heavy, but I make you do a lot of them, and I'd rather keep it that way because I don't want to put too much strain there.
Okay. And then after that one gets a little bit easier. You can do it on your toes. Make it a little bit more stability. And now you can go from a tuck to a pike. All you're going to do is just bring your hip, keep your body in a straight line. Bring your hips up to the ceiling as high as you can. Up and back down. Okay. Now another one. We did a twist for your shoulders earlier, and so this will be a twist for your legs. You just bring your feet apart a little bit on the ball. Twist this way, twist this way.
Good. Yeah, once you get enough in there, it's still get that fluid in your chest.
And now the last one, another one for an isometric
Okay, last
exercise.
side, here we go.
Just gonna put your hands on the floor
Line,
and just roll yourself backwards. Okay. So that was 12 exercises. So you gotta make sure you work the whole core. So this gives us a variety of all of them. So I'd pick
yeah, should be
5 or 6 of them, or all of them. And try to do 10 or 12 reps of each one. If you can do 50 on one of them, it's too easy of an exercise for you. And so, and the other part to put in this with this is extra cardio and nutrition. So if you're really having a tough time getting the definition you want, you're not going to get it just from the exercises. You got to make sure you have a good diet too. So if you don't have a trainer, come ask one of us to get the nutrition part for you.